Now we're gonna talk. Kyrie Irving obviously talked today at his press conference with the media. We do not have sound, Rob G. Do you have the quote to read?
I do. I do.
Okay. Rob, Kyrie was obviously reminiscing on his career, getting asked a lot of questions as a 32-year-old who's been through a lot of different teams and things. Yep.
And here's big moments in the postseason, including a championship, a big shot. There's all kinds of stuff to talk about.
Absolutely. So here's what he said, kind of reminiscing on his career.
So this one is actually an exclusive to friend of the show, Vince Goodwill, Rob's former nephew at Yahoo Sports, because, they're all covering the NBA Finals out there.
Yep.
And Vinny caught up with Kyrie and asked him again about his career, asked about his teammates, about the maturation that we've seen from Kyrie over especially this last year and a half. And during their conversation, Kyrie told Yahoo's Vince Goodwill, quote, "This has been the greatest portion of my career, to be able to now give wisdom and also speak from a place of experience. When you're a young person, again, you're trying to speed through life. You're just trying to get through everything."
Wow. What do you think, Rob?
Chris, you could tackle that first.
I completely understand. In fact, we were on First Things First today, and I didn't know Kyrie. I don't know what he said in the press conference, but he must have said something similar in the press conference. But I didn't know about Vinny's article. And I said, my guess is that Kyrie is enjoying himself more than he ever has in his NBA career. And Nick Wright actually on the show said he just said that actually about 90 minutes ago in his press conference. So I completely understand it. He clearly, he obviously wasn't happy in Cleveland, or he wouldn't have asked out, even despite all the winning. And then obviously had his issues in Brooklyn and Boston. And now, not only does he seem at more peace himself and seem to have matured, but he is flat out saying it. It's not just us perceiving it. He said it. Like he just said there, when he's young, you're trying to speed through life. And I think when he was younger, Rob, he did want to be, I want to be the man. Obviously, LeBron was there, so he couldn't be the man, but he wanted to be the man. He went to Boston to be the man. And also I think the gap between him and LeBron, as great as Kyrie was, the gap was much wider and perceived to be much wider than it is between him and Luka. He was not the leader on that team. He's the leader now. He said to dispatch the wisdom and all that. So I think, obviously won a championship and hit a historic shot with Cleveland and a historic comeback. And I'm sure that was enjoyable. But I think he's talking about just overall his state of mind, where he's at in life. I just think he's able to enjoy himself more now. Now, obviously wants to win a championship. I don't think he'll take this statement back. And so if you just want to say basketball wise, well, one year he won a ring. Let's say this year they don't. How can that be the best? But I just think he's talking about where he's at in life and being a leader on this team, where he's Cleveland a definitive 2. Here, a 2, but some people would say a 1B or something like that. So I think that's where he's coming from, and I totally get that.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I just think it's prisoner of the moment. He's in a great spot.
It's his moment.
But I'm just saying, I don't know when you've played and won a championship and you've done what he's done, that this is a better moment than that. I don't know how, because when they replay what you've done in your career, that shot will be one that will follow you. You have a signature shot or moment that is going to define your career, or at least be a part of your resume. It might even be in his obituary, depending on if he never wins again. Kyrie Irving, who once hit a shot that people consider one of the greatest in NBA history to help the Cavaliers come back from a 3-1 deficit. You know what I mean, Chris? It's all written there. So I understand your point about the here and now and being a prisoner of the moment. And yes, this feels good. But if they get swept 4-0, this is not going to, I don't care what he says, will not be the best moment or of his career. If he can say that now because there's no verdict or no finality, Chris, to the NBA Finals. But he can't tell me win, lose, or draw. No, lose or draw. This is the best time of his life and his NBA career, more so than anything else. I'm not buying that.
Wow, I am. I mean, because where you're at inside may not match where you're at outside. You could be going through what on the outside, it may look like everything is going great for you. But inside, if you don't have peace, if you're confused, if you're, just not in a good space, and I'm not saying it was all that bad, but clearly he wanted out. He has said, that he was young and trying to speed through life and all that stuff. So I hear what you're saying. And from an objective, strictly basketball standpoint.
That's all I'm saying. I don't know his inner feelings.
Even if they win this, Rob, if they win this, we would still say, I mean, that was the greatest finals comeback ever against a 73-win team. This is 64-win team. Chris. It's a great team, but that, yes, and he hit the game-winning shot and averaged 27 in those finals.
Come on, man.
If I'm not mistaken.
Was monster.
But I think yes, and objectively speaking, from the outside looking in, strictly basketball, I would agree with you. But I don't think he's talking about that. I think he's talking about how he feels, where he's at in life, and actually knowing how to lead, being a good leader. In Boston, he wanted to be that leader, but he wasn't ready. And now I think he's ready. So do you understand that? Because I agree with you. I don't think he's saying, I mean, what he did in 2016
maybe my follow-up,
incredible.
Chris, if I was in the press conference, is this, you talking about?
Well, you got to talk to your boy Vinny. He was a one-on-one, or he got him,
No, but
walking out the arena or something.
Yeah, I would have if I would have just said, is this about you personally and what you know what I mean, what you're going on? Or is this basketball? I'm just confused from that standpoint because it can't be basketball. If this is him and his life and he feels he's in a better place and he's not tormented or whatever else was going on, that's different. But this is basketball, this can't be better than what you've already won. You don't know what's going to happen here. It could be a great feeling, but there's nothing sweeter than winning a championship and sipping that champagne. Nothing.
Here's where I'd argue, though. I mean, and again, I'm not totally disagreeing with what you're saying, but here's what I'd say from a basketball standpoint, why he might say it's still this year. He is the leader of the team. He wasn't that credit in Cleveland. No, he's getting credit as the leader. He's not getting credit as the best
it's
player.
It's going to be about Luka.
Well, but again, he ain't thinking they going to lose. Oh, he going to get major credit if they win.
No. It's gonna be about Luka.
He will get more credit. Now he hit that game-winning shot. He gets a ton of credit for that. But I bet you he gets more. He is getting more credit now than he got in that run in Cleveland.
Chris, you just talked about how great Luka is.
Well, yeah, but Kyrie's viewed as closer to Luka than he is to LeBron.
I think this is going to be about Luka.
I don't think you don't think Kyrie is getting a ton of credit right now?
I didn't say that. He also had a couple of 9-point games during the playoffs.
Yeah, but ain't nobody talking about that.
Luka ain't have no 9-point games.
Kyrie has had a freaking renaissance.
But 9-point games? I'm just saying. This is a coronation for Luka. It's going to be about Luka.
Luka is the best player.
He finally come of age. He finally won his championship. It's going to be about Luka, not Kyrie.
And 2016 was about LeBron. Everybody talks about LeBron. Even though Kyrie hit that shot, there's more talk about LeBron, obviously, and there should be. He was the best player. But people look at that block he had on Iguodala. I actually think you're hearing more about Kyrie. Now, maybe some of it is because of how, for lack of a better term, low things had gotten for him, with all the controversies and stuff. And now it's just about basketball. Maybe that has something to do with it. But he is getting a ton of love. And Luka, everybody's saying he's the leader of the team. Even though Luka's the best player, but Kyrie's the leader. I think he's going to get a ton of credit.
I don't agree with that. I don't think that when they win and Luka's the MVP, people are going to crown Kyrie or something. It's going to
Well,
be
what do you
Luka,
mean crown?
It's going to be a Luka coronation. He
well,
won.
2016 wasn't a LeBron coronation?
I'm just saying, it's not going to be about him. It's going to be about Luka finally getting his first championship. That's what it's
Well,
gonna be
it
about.
should be about the best player, but it's also going to be about Kyrie. I think, like I said, would you agree the gap between Luka and Kyrie is smaller this year than the gap
LeBron
was
is
between
considered
LeBron?
the second best player, or some people. So yeah, the gap is definitely
Thank you.
smaller.
So that's-
but I don't believe this is going to be about Kyrie. That's just my opinion on how this
Well, not
plays out.
first, not over
It's
Luka.
going to be about Luka. This is
And
going
it
to be
should
Luka's
be about
championship.
Kyrie more than Luka. But it's going to be everybody's champion. That's the thing. It's not, I just don't, people get, I mean, to say it's going to be Luka's championship, it's going to be the Dallas Mavericks championship.
Nah,
And it's going to be
don't
Luka
agree.
as the MVP. Like, don't agree. So Kyrie don't get credit?
I'm
What
not
you
saying
talking
it is,
about?
but it's going to be about Luka. It's going to be more
So
about Luka.
the first when Detroit won their first championship, was it Dumar's championship? It wasn't Isaiah's?
No, it was
Dumars was
Isaiah. It
MVP
was about-
who averaged 27 points.
It was about Isaiah, though. You know that.
Well, how? Because Dumars was the Finals MVP. I mean, I'm just saying by your logic,
No, I'm talking about.
can
this
it be
is a-
about more than one person?
No, it's going to be about Luka in this situation because he has all the accolades, all this love, and everybody thinks he's an all-time great already, but he doesn't have the championship, and that's what he's missing. And this will be the one that he got. That's my opinion. I think it's going to be more about
I wondered
Luka.
if you watching the Western Conference playoffs because Kyrie is getting a ton of love.
Nobody's saying, Chris, he's not getting any love. The championship will be about Luka. That's all I'm saying.
I think that's a terrible way of looking at things. The championship is about a team. And that each team has a better player.
It's Diana Ross and the Supremes. It's
But this
Mick
ain't
Jagger
singing. We ain't
and
talking
the
about
Rolling
music.
Stones.
Okay,
it's
that's
Lionel Richie and the Commodores. That's how we do stuff. You pick
It's
one
Jordan
guy.
and Pippen. It's Shaq and Kobe.
It's
It
Jordan.
was Moses
No,
and
no.
Dr. J. What are you talking about? This
That's
is
how we
sports,
do it.
not making music.
Michael Jackson and the Jackson Four. That's what it's like.
All right, when they get up there on stage and start dancing, then you can compare them to the freaking Supremes. But sports is about a team. Look, Kyrie hit the shot. So, come on.